Hello and welcome to your latest Maths Wizard video. Today we are going to be taking a look at percentage decrease. So the main skills we're going to be focusing on today is just doing some percentage decrease calculations, and then we're going to look at some wordy problems which involve this skill. So first example then, we've got decrease 330 by 10%. So one way we can do it is like this. So if we do 330 divided by 10, we get 33. Then we can do 330 minus 33, and that will get us to 297. So that will be our new amount after 10% has been taken away. Now, we can use what's known as a multiplier method. Now, this is quite useful if you are doing some of the more challenging percentages calculations involving like compound depreciation, looking at things like reverse percentages. So it is quite useful to try and get your head around multipliers. Now, when we're using a multiplier for this, the full amount, our 330, is 100%. If we take 10% away, we're left with 90%. So we use the decimal equivalent of 90% here. If you're not sure what the decimal equivalent of a percentage is, just divide it by 100. So our multiplier here is 0.9. Then all we do is 330 times 0.9, and that will get us to 297. So that's two different ways of doing percentage decrease there. Okay, so next one then, we're going to do decrease 880 by 40%. So there's quite a few ways we can do 40%, but if you were perhaps doing it without a calculator, you might do this. 880 divided by 10, that'll give you 88. Then you might do 88 times 4 to give you 352. Then we've got to do 880 minus 3.352, and that would give us 528. So that's one way of doing it, and this way is probably quite useful if you're on that non-calculator paper. But if it's on a calculator paper, and like I said, it's a good way to get your head around these. Good idea to get your head around these multipliers. So here your 880 is that 100%. Take 40% away, and we're left with 60%. Our multiplier for 60% is 0.6. So now all we've got to do is 880 times 0.6, and that would get us straight to our 528. Just there. So, like I said, try and get your head around these multipliers if you can, because it will help with some of the more challenging percentages content. Okay, let's look at our next one. So this one says decrease 800 by 2%. So I'm just going to go straight in with the multipliers with this one. So 100% minus 2% is 98%. Then if we do 800 times 0.98, that would give us 784 for that one. Like I said though, you can do 2% and just take it off if you are more comfortable doing that. So to do 2%, you would divide by 100 to get 1% and times by 2, and that would give you 16, which you can then take away from 800 to get you 784. Okay, so here are 5 questions just for you to have a practice with then. So take your time, pause your video, and then you can check your answers afterwards. Okay, and here are your answers to these videos, to these questions. Okay, so now we're going to move on to looking at percentage decrease word problems. So I'm just going to give you 3 wordy questions involving percentage decrease. So your first one, a bike costs £130. It's reduced by 20% in the sale. We want to know how much it's going to cost in that sale. So pause your video and have a go. Okay, so I'm going to show you the two ways of doing this then. So if you do 130 divided by 10, you get 13. That's your 10%. 13 times 2 is 26. That's your 20%. Then if we take that away, so we've got 130 minus 26, we get £104, which is the new price for our bike. Now with your multiplier method, we've got 100% minus 20. That'll give you 80%, so you're left with 80% that you've got to pay. If we do 130 times 0.8, that'll get us straight to our £104 price there. Okay, next example then. A book costs £4. In a sale, it's reduced by 30%. How much does the book cost in the sale? So if you pause your video, have a go. Okay, so if we've got 100% here, we take away 30%. That gives us 70%. So our multiplier here is 0.7. So 4 times 0.7 would give us a new price of £2.80 for the book in the sale. So you can do 30%, so you can do 10% of £4, which is 40p. 40 pence times 3 is £1.20, which you can then take away and get to £2.80 that way, or you can use the multiplier method. It's totally up to you. But like I said, this is useful for when you're doing things like reverse percentages and some of the more challenging percentages content. Okay, final problem then that we'll look at. A car costs £20,000 when it's brand new. So after a year, it loses 35% of its value. We want to know how much it's worth after 1 year. So pause your video and have a go. Okay, let's take a look at this then. So 100% is the full price. We take away 35%. That will give us 65%. Then we can do 20,000 times 0.65, and that tells us that after a year the car is worth £13,000 after that year. Okay, so that is it for today's video. So thank you very much for listening. I will be uploading lots more content over the next few months. So hit subscribe if you want to see some more videos. Thanks very much. Bye bye.